What time is it? It's Merry Monday. This is about standing in your own way, even when it's a little delicate, okay? It's about committing and getting out of your own way, people. Ready? A lot of people have this problem. And Zane agrees. He's like, don't talk about me. But literally, men and women have this problem. People think that only men can't commit, but that's just not true. So how do you get to the point where you can stop overanalyzing things? Let's start with that. Let's just start with that. Exactly. Overanalyzing makes you feel like you want to rip your hair out. It's an overthinking. A lot of people tend to overanalyze things when they feel like they can exert this artificial control over their life. And so relinquishing control is something that I always talk about. It's really important in this situation. But beyond that, it's like there's so much thinking that one can do. You can drive yourself absolutely stark, raving mad doing this kind of rehashing things out. And the thing is that nobody's going to be perfect. Everyone's going to have flaws. The question is, what doesn't contravene your core values and who doesn't annoy you? So I'm presupposing a couple things that you've been talking for at least 3 months, more like 6 months to a year. You're at the end of the road. You need to know whether or not you need to commit to this person so that attraction's there. You've talked about a lot of things in terms of compatibility, but it's just hard to seal the deal. That's what I'm talking about. The second major culprit of standing in your own way is a nagging self-doubt. Now, some people may call this overthinking, but it's different. Overthinking is really about like really getting into the weeds about somebody, getting really into the details. While this nagging doubt is about self-FOMO. You have to deal with this head on, because this kind of insecurity and self-insecurity and decision making is really going to like unravel big decisions that you could have in your life and paralyze you, sometimes from doing the things that are absolutely the best for you, right? I've seen people really screw themselves up on this. They just feel like either they're not deserving, or they're just always doomed to make the wrong decision, or that there's just something better out there, instead of just being grateful for what they have. The third major thing that stands in people's way of happiness is that they're constantly comparing themselves to the bad examples out there, right? So they're like really putting that negative energy out there, and they're thinking about all of the failed marriages that they know. So where this is extremely important is the friends that you keep, right? So you may have friends who have been divorced before, have had relationship trouble, that's fine. But if people are still sad, they think that all relationships suck, that men suck, women suck, like you need to get out of that toxic friend zone. So all your friends that are kind of keeping you down a little bit, you kind of have to sort of either see past their example and understand that your example is completely like independent and separate of that, or you need to start filtering their advice, tempering it with the advice of people who are in better marriages, for example. Are you on your phone? Get off your freaking phone. I'm doing Merry Mondays. I'm just kidding. You can totally use the phone to keep Zane preoccupied. So honestly, you want to have good examples. You want to talk to them. And for the people who only know miserable people, like, and miserable marriages, like, get new friends. I think it's just so hard when I see good people standing in their own way of happiness to unlock their full potential. And my biggest advice would be to question your assumptions, really let go, give yourself some room, and give some room for God. You know what I mean?